Hello everybody, welcome to my channel, or welcome back if you've watched my old vlogs. I am a newly licensed real estate agent in the Metro Atlanta area, and I thought I could make some videos for you guys to get to know me a little better and for me to get to know my audience a little better. Just a cool way for us to connect, you know. So as I was preparing for my exam, I watched so many YouTube videos, like an obnoxious amount of YouTube videos. How I passed my real estate exam, tips on passing your real estate exam, like how I studied, literally anything and everything you can think of. I've probably watched it. I've probably seen your video if you made one. And they were actually like so helpful. Like I don't know if I would have passed if I wouldn't have watched the videos. So I thought, you know, I studied my butt off and I watched all these videos. I have all these like tips and tricks. Why shouldn't I make one? I passed on my first try, and that's like a huge deal in the real estate world. Like that's, you know, everybody that I like saw posts about it is like, oh, I passed on my 6th try finally, like all of this stuff, and it just gets you like so nervous and so scared. And I'm like, oh my god, how am I ever gonna pass? But you know, here we are. I did it. I was shook that I passed on the first try, so I thought I could maybe help you guys pass on your first try. And I'm not on you if you haven't passed on your first try. If you've taken it multiple times, like we all like learn in different ways, and you know what, I'm sure some tests are harder than others, and maybe I just got lucky and I got an easier one, or I got one where I had like actually studied all of that material. I don't know, but you know what, I'm not gonna question it. Thank you, Jesus. So I made a little list of things that I thought helped me pass my exam on the first try. So if you see me looking down and reading, that's what it is. I just want to put a little quick disclaimer out there. This is not a guarantee of how to pass your test. Everybody has different ways of learning. This is just like what worked for me. I'm not saying it's going to work for you. Everybody learns in different ways, but it's just what worked for me. So I'm going to share that with you guys. So I passed my real estate exam on my first try in 2 months. Like 2 months from literally, I knew zero, like nothing about real estate in the beginning of January of 2021. Like I knew nothing. I started my class, I think it was like January 18th, and it was a month long. So I finished February 18th, and then I took my exam on March 18th and I passed. So that's 2 months from knowing absolutely nothing to passing my real estate exam on the first try. And by the way, I am in Georgia, if that makes a difference. So I took my 75-hour course, because you have to take 75 hours in Georgia. I don't know what it is other states. I don't know if it's the same, but I took my 75 hours in 1 month. Before I actually started the class, my teacher sent out an email letting us log into the portal a little bit early. So I went on there and I read ahead, and I also picked up my textbook ahead of time. So I just like read through the chapters. I just like breezed through it, and I like highlighted some things that I thought might be important. And I made some flashcards. And I know you guys are probably sick of hearing flashcards, 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 but vocab is literally like everything. Like if you don't know your vocab, I read ahead a little bit. Before every class, I would read the chapter ahead of time, and I would read over the vocab words. I'm not saying you have to know everything like verbatim, but like just so you can have a general idea, so whenever you go into class, you're not like, oh my god, what is she talking about? And you don't feel the need to like read through with them and like highlight things. Like you can just sit in class and like focus and listen on what they're saying. That's what helped me. Don't be afraid to ask questions. No question is a stupid question. I am sure your teacher or whoever has heard some crazy questions, so don't be afraid to ask questions. I said this earlier, but just make sure you know all of your terms, like not just the definitions. Like don't just know like the textbook definition, like be able to know the meaning behind it, be able to explain it to other people. If you can explain what that word means to other people, then that's how you know you've like fully comprehended the meaning of the word. Okay, my next tip: short-term pain for long-term gain. but it's true. I pretty much had like no life whenever I was taking my class. I was like, work, class, study, work, class, study. Like it was a lot. It was overwhelming and it sucked. Like I missed having like a social life and being able to do this and that as much as I was before, but you have to look at it like in the long run. So that's why I say short-term pain for long-term gain. Okay, so I'm sure that every class is different, but for mine, my teacher gave us a study guide. It was kind of like an outline of our tests, but I really focused on her study guides. So like the week leading up to my test, this is like, I'm talking about my class test, not the state exam, but just like the test to pass the class. I focused like really on the study guides. I don't know why you wouldn't. It's literally an outline of the test. It tells you what's going to be on the test and what you need to know. So learn it. Study the study guide. Like that's just... After I passed my class test, I took like a weekend off. Like I passed on like a Thursday, and then I took that weekend off from studying to just like clear my mind, and like I just hung out with my boyfriend, my friends, like, you know, I didn't study. I didn't want to touch anything real estate. I muted all of the real estate groups that I was like in. You need to be able to clear your mind, because then if you don't, you're gonna get overwhelmed and you're gonna get burnt out. That's just how it is. You're gonna get burnt out. You're not gonna want to do it anymore. So you need to take like a little mental health break and clear your mind. I promise you it helps so much. Okay, so after I passed my class exam, I signed up for Prep Agent. I'm sure you guys have heard of it. If you're watching this video, then I'm sure you've come across Prep Agent, but Prep Agent is like a study tool. You can sign up, it costs money. You can sign up like per month, per year, however you want to do it. I signed up for a whole year because there was a discount code, and if I can find that, then I'll link that below. But the discount code that I used for the whole year was like equal to the amount of signing up for just 1 month. So I was like, okay, why not? But with Prep Agent, there is like so many helpful resources on there. I will just show you a few. Okay, so with Prep Agent, you can have practice exams, exam prep videos, because you know some people are visual learners, so it helps a lot. Honestly, I went through and I watched all of the videos. Even if I thought I knew what that word meant, watch the videos. I'm telling you, watch the videos, because there's like little things in there that you're gonna have on tests or practice exams. They're gonna be like, oh my god, I thought I knew everything about this, but I'm telling you, just read everything over and over, watch everything over and over, like get it into your brain. He also has audio lessons. It's like listening to a podcast. To and from work, I have like a 40-minute drive to work. I would just I started at the top and I just like went through, and it's once again just going over the terms, and you know, I feel like that helped me a lot, like reading all of the terms, watching the videos, all the terms, listening to his audio lessons, like just getting it in my brain like one way or another. They also have webinars. Prep Agent is just not sponsored, but get it. It is worth your money, I'm telling you. The first week of studying after I passed my class, I made more flashcards. I'm sure you guys are so sick of hearing that, but it's so true. I made flashcards for literally like every single term that you can possibly think of. And once I like knew like 95% of them without missing any, I started taking all of the vocab quizzes on Prep Agent. There's gonna be some terms on there that you still don't know, so I just made more flashcards and then I learned those, and then I was getting like hundreds on the vocab quizzes, and that is like what you need to do first, is focus on learning all of the vocab. My next tip is that I joined some Facebook groups. Georgia State Specific Exam Study Group. This was like a huge lifesaver too. They have like files. It's like a lot of it is state specific, which you need to learn all of your national stuff, and then you need to learn all of your state stuff. And this group, I like can 100% wholeheartedly say I would not have passed the state exam if I did not find this group. This taught me so much. People post on this group like verbatim test questions, and I had like 6 of them. I had questions that I would have not known the answer to if I did not have this Facebook group to rely on. Like, lifesaver. They have like files on Facebook pages. I don't know if you can see it, but like a little file right there, and you just click on it and there's like files. Let's see, an example, Georgia law. It's just like PDF files, and it just like has all the Georgia laws. Some of them were like study guides, exam prep sheets, exam questions, where people were like posting verbatim the exam questions they had. Moral of the story, find your state-specific Facebook groups, join them. They are literally lifesavers. You need to study your state laws. Once again, the Facebook group I was in had great study guides for it. Just join it. I'm telling you, that's my #1 tip. Join your state local Facebook group. It is a lifesaver. A couple days before I took the exam, I printed out my state outline, and I focused on the outlines, like the sections one by one, like agency. For example, I would take all the agency vocab quizzes I could find, all the agency practice exams I could find, and I also watched some Travis Everett YouTube videos. If you're feeling stuck on something, like financing was like my weak point. I struggled in financing, not necessarily math, but like more of like the loans and the mortgages, like all those things. So I watched like 3 of Travis Everett's videos. They're long, but they're so worth it. Like, he goes very into detail. He's very good at explaining everything. I would also save the math for the end. There's only like a handful of math questions. I would say like 10 were on mine. As long as you know your like basic math, I think you'll be fine. It is like multiple choice, so if I was like struggling on the math part, I can always like work backwards, and I can like plug in I could plug in answer D, see if that gave me the answer C. I just feel like there's like easier ways to work around the math questions. And that means a lot coming from somebody who is god awful at math. Like, I am horrible at math. Like, you don't even get me started. It's really embarrassing, actually. This next tip is a test taking tip. So everything I read, you guys have probably heard all of this stuff like before, but do it. There's a reason people are saying it so many times. There's a reason you're hearing it so many times. Like, do it. I read so many times, like, skip all of the math questions and skip all of the questions that you're unsure of and save those for the end. I did that. If you don't know the answer to a question, just go with your first gut feeling. Don't change it. Honestly, I'm gonna be real with you guys. When I took my exam, I skipped all the questions I didn't know. Skipped all the math questions. I saved it for later because you can like bookmark it and come back to it. So I did all the ones I did know. And then when I came back to the ones I didn't know, if I really didn't know it, I just went with my first gut feeling and I kept it. I didn't even recheck it, because chances are your first gut instinct is always right. And I feel like that also helped me pass, because I'm not saying I knew everything on the test. There was definitely some questions I didn't know, but I went with my first instinct and I left it. I didn't touch it. Y'all, I didn't even go back when I was done and check all of my questions. Like, normally when I take a test, I'll go back and I will like read through them again and like make sure I got the answer right, but I didn't even do that. And I'm not saying that works for everybody. I'm not saying that. That is just what worked for me, because I second guessed myself so much, and I knew that if I would have gone back and like reread everything, then I would have probably changed a bunch of answers, and I probably would have changed a bunch of answers to the wrong answer. And my last and final tip is relax. It's not the end of the world if you don't pass. If you really need to, the morning of your test, reread over your notes, but try to just go into the test, like the exam, with a clear mind. That's what I did. My exam was at like 2 o'clock or something like that, and the morning of, like, I woke up, like, I slept in a little bit, I had my coffee, I took a shower, I ate breakfast, I listened to some music for like 30 minutes, you know, just like jammed out. Just tried to like clear my mind and calm down. Pretty much did everything in my power that I could to not get nervous. Don't be nervous. I know it's so much easier said than done. If you have test anxiety, then I would highly recommend you do what I did and the morning of just relax. Even like the night before, don't be like watching cram courses and doing all this and doing all that. Like, just relax, watch some TV, clear your mind. You have to be confident. Oh, I also read everywhere to write at the top of your scratch sheet that they give you, pass. Like, I passed, and I did that, and I just, if I was getting like frustrated during the test, I would just look back at that and be like trying to manifest it. Like, I passed, I did it, we did it, and guess what? We did it. Y'all, I did not think I was going to pass on my first try. Like, don't get me wrong, I studied and I studied and I studied harder for this than I studied for anything in my life. I've never taken anything so seriously. This was harder than getting my college degree, but I did it. So I think that that is all that I have as far as tips go. I did want to do something a little special for you guys since it is my first like YouTube video dealing with real estate. You know, we'll figure out what my vibe will be on here, but I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna try to upload frequently. If you guys have any suggestions of what you want to see, you can leave it below. But anyways, back to what I want to do. I want to do something special for you guys. So since I did sign up for Prep Agent for a whole year and I only used a month of it, I think I signed up in February and now it is April. I have a lot of months left for my Prep Agent, so I would like to give it away to one of you guys. So to enter the Prep Agent giveaway, I want you to like my Facebook, follow my business Instagram, and leave a comment below telling me what you want to see from this channel. I will pick a winner 2 weeks from the day that I upload this video. So you got 2 weeks to do those 3 things. Like my Facebook, follow my business Instagram, and leave a comment below saying what you want to see from this channel, and I will randomly pick a winner and the Prep Agent account is all yours. I think that's all I have for this video. Sorry if I was all over the place. It has been like a month since I did it. Hopefully this can help you guys a little bit. The 2 things to take away from this video: know your vocab. If you think you know it, you probably don't, so learn it again. Number 2, join your Facebook groups, your state specific Facebook groups. Study your state laws, whatever. Those are my 2 big tips. Relax, you got this. Manifest it, believe in it, and you will achieve it. Ew. Okay, see you guys next time. Bye. Thank you for watching.